Hey, my name is Chris Johnson. A piece of news that might not surprise you. I like to fucking talk. You want some proof? There's over 100 of these fucking episodes. I mean, oftentimes after work, I'll just talk to people in the parking lot. I can't help myself. I can never get out of fucking work on time. And this was any fucking job. This was the radio station too. I talked to fucking Big Rex in the parking lot. Couldn't leave. And it's not just the same person every time. If there is somebody there that I like and that will fucking listen to me, I will talk to them until the end of time. So this happened the other day, not necessarily at work. I just use that as an example because I never shut the fuck up. So I was talking to, I'm going to call her the ghost because this motherfucker is invisible. Can't fucking see her. And she's telling me this amazing fucking story. She was out at a local electronics store. She needed like a fucking MP3 player, or, you know, a phone or some shit, you know, whatever. And she goes in there and she starts talking to one of the dudes in there, one of the geeks. One of those motherfuckers that when you walk in, they're like, hey, can I help you? What are you looking for? Ah, hey, fella. And she's like, yeah, I'm looking for this, MP3 player here. So they start looking at model, and they start chatting. They start talking about, like, shows or whatever. And she's like, it was a nice conversation. I was at the store. He was a nice guy. He was helping me out. It was a nice, normal, fucking easygoing conversation. I liked talking to him. And then she specifies, I like talking to him in that environment. And I knew exactly what the fuck she was talking about. You know that line that there is? When you go into a store and you talk to somebody, there's a fucking line. That line is, I don't really know who the fuck you are or give a shit about you, but I need something and you're working here and you're being very polite. So we're going to work together right now to get my shit taken care of. And then as soon as this conversation's over, we're probably never going to fucking see each other again, never going to talk to each other again. And it's going to be perfectly fine because that's the nature of this relationship. That's how it works. But she started sensing things getting a little bit fucking weird, right? She's starting to sense, I think this guy might be taking this conversation a little bit too far in his head. I think he might be reading into this a bit much. And that's a terrifying fucking thought, because I've been there. You've been there, right? You ever talk to somebody? And things are going well, and then before you realize it, you're like, oh shit. I think this person I'm talking to likes me a little bit more than I'm prepared for them to like me. And then you don't know what the fuck to do. Like, if I was on a fucking plane, I would just jump out. Ah! So that's where the ghost is at during this conversation. Talking about TV shows, getting MP3 players, getting electronics. This dude thinks, ooh, I got an attractive lady in front of me and she's talking to me. Doesn't realize she's talking to you because you got a fucking shirt on with a name tag and you're helping her get a fucking MP3 player. This isn't a fucking date, son. And all these fucking stores, they got those cards, right? Like, do you have a fucking player's card? All that shit. So she didn't want to give this guy any of her information because she's realizing that this is getting a little bit weird. I don't want this motherfucker to know who the fuck I am. So she tries to lie to him. Ghost tries to be clever. She's like, oh, my name is Q. She's like, I don't think I'm in the system. So the guy looks for the names, not there. It's like, well, what about a phone number? Then she tries to be sly again. She's like, well, I thought if I gave him the house phone number, because we never used the fucking house phone, I thought that wouldn't be in the system. You got to give an incorrect number in that situation. If you're a lying sack of shit all the time like me, you'd know what to fucking do. So she gives him the fucking house phone number. All the information is there. He looks at her information and sees the phone number, sees the address, and he says to her, hey, would it be cool if I just kept some of this information, kept your phone number and, I don't know, texted you sometime? Now, I know what you're fucking thinking. This motherfucker is a charmer, right? Holy Christ. So the ghost asks me, point blank, she's like, what the fuck would you do in that situation? What would you do? And I was like, I gotta be honest, that's a fucking awkward situation. You're risking, like, do you blow up his spot right there at work? He's at work. He's, like, asking you out, sort of, but he's not really asking you out. He's asking if he can text you sometime, which I don't know what the fuck that is. That's the new pussy thing that's done. Like, hey, you want to text sometime? What the fuck is that shit? I'm not saying I got a lot of fucking moves either. I don't know what the fuck I would do in that situation either. I don't know how the fuck I would act on an attraction either. As a matter of fact, I have no fucking idea. I tell you what I wouldn't do, that. I'm advanced enough to not do that. So I was like, God, fuck, I don't know, that's a tough situation. Because I wouldn't want to talk to this motherfucker, again, right? But do you want to hurt her feelings right there? Do you want to fucking just blow it up right there? And I was like, you know what, I'd probably lie and say, okay. And then when he texts or when she texts, just say, like, you know what, I'm not really interested. That way he can get through his work shift okay. I'll let him down later on. And she was like, well, what do you think I did? Took me 2 fucking seconds to come up with that conclusion. I said, you probably said fucking no right on the fucking spot and just destroyed this guy's world. And she laughed. She's like, yeah, I did. I said, no thanks. And then his world was ruined. He was like, oh, okay. And she's like, thanks, have a good day. Way to go, ghost. You just destroyed some poor young man's life. I fucking love how she did it. That's a fucking baller move, huh? How fucking player is that? Walk into a fucking store, strike up a conversation with some guy. He thinks you're flirting with him. He sort of asks you out in the most clumsy way possible, and you just slapped him right in the fucking face. Figuratively, of course. And then strutted out of that store like a fucking boss. How fucking weird is that, too? Like, to just, like, scan somebody's information, see your phone number, and say, like, hey, can I keep that? I see your number right here. I used my job to get your phone number. Can I hang on to that? What a stumbling fuck. Well, I'll be back Sundays and Wednesdays. That's when you get your new episodes. You can catch every episode on Podbean. You can either go to that website, download that app. Download me. I want to be up in that phone. Make it as creepy as possible. You can follow on Google Play or Apple Podcasts too. I'm on Instagram at maybe 5 minutes. See a bunch of pictures of me and some cats. And if you please, you want to send me a message or some shit, Twitter, @JohnsonHatesYou. That's where I'm at there. And I'm going to keep pumping out those Facebook videos. Catch the podcast right in that timeline.